Feds reveal mafia-linked gambling probe that led to arrest of Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups and coach of the Portland Trailblazers, if I'm not mistaken, and NBA star Terry Rozier. I don't know if he's an NBA star, but yeah, they kind of put a sauce on in these headlines. But anyway, so they have brought down the arrest of a few players, along with Damian Jones, former player Damian Jones. Where this gambling probe they're talking about is two separate cases or instances that they've kind of tied together. So basically, Terry Rozier, NBA player Terry Rozier, he's arrested for something that we assume players do all the time, where he's giving people the update, insider information on certain things that goes along with betting the over under on his stats. So he told someone apparently that, hey, I'm going to be out tonight. I'm not playing the whole game. Bet the under. So that's like in Wall Street when a politician knows that some bill is coming, and so they immediately throw money into a stock or tell someone to throw money into a stock because, hey, we passing this bill. It's going to affect these corporations or whatever, for the better or for the worse. That's insider trading. This is kind of what he's doing, kind of. Same thing going on with Damian Jones. Basically, he was telling people player A and player B, which turned out to be LeBron and Anthony Davis, how they weren't going to be playing in a game, giving information to these sports bettors, these professional gamblers, and they use the information to make money, to make bets. The Chauncey Billups story is where it gets interesting. So let me show this first. Let me show this right here.
Such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families.
So you heard that right. We're in 2025 and we're hearing the name of the 5 families again in regards to organized crime. And we know they're still around, but so now, as he said, 30 people were arrested. He named the 5 crime families that he believed was a part of this gambling scheme, but we know only 3 faces. I'm pretty sure people have been pointing out, man, it's kind of crazy that y'all are telling us all these people that's involved. The only faces we've seen, the only names we've read is Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damian Jones, who are all former or current athletes or coaches, and all are black. I'm just saying, I ain't saying they're guilty or not, but it is kind of like, damn, all these people involved, and the only people you're making known is these 3. Although they are the most famous, in Chauncey Billups' case especially, he was used as a face card to bring people to card games in order for them to be scammed. Now, this is going to go deeper into something. It's not just about sports betting to me. I believe this is tied to politics and a lot of other things that's going on in the country. So, as you can see here, NBA gambling scandal. Explain what to know as Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier get arrested and suspended. Okay, why was Terry Rozier arrested? Rozier and Billups are being investigated for different crimes. Rozier is part of an investigation into the bettors using non-public information, such as when a player would miss game or exit early to place bets. In total, 7 different games are part of the investigation per the FBI. Rozier and others allegedly obtained insider information to pass it along to bettors. On March 23rd, 2023, Rozier himself exited the game against the New Orleans Pelicans after 9 minutes and 34 seconds, during which he scored 5 points, putting up 4 rebounds and dishing out 2 assists. He allegedly shared with people close to him that he planned to leave the game early. That was his final game action of the 2023-2024 season. Members of the group being investigated allegedly placed more than $200,000 in bets and Rozier's under line across multiple prop bets. So his case is kind of it is what it is. We assume players been doing that forever. Whether it be you on a bad team, you're not making the playoffs. Hey, I'm gonna say I hurt my ankle this game. Y'all just bet on this, make some extra money. Dudes don't want to play. Dudes want to go out to the club. They stayed out too late the night before. They sick, so they act like they get injured during the game, so they don't got to play the whole game. We know that stuff happens. Billups, on the other hand, was allegedly involved in rigged poker games tied to the mafia. The FBI said victims would be lured into playing with well-known former NBA players, and Billups only to be cheated out of their money using technology that ranged from rigged shuffling machines to X-rays that could read cards that were face down on the table to contact lenses that could identify marked cards. According to the indictment, the FBI said the games were tied to La Costa Nostra, the Italian mafia. Now, this is also tied to another case. Y'all may not know this, but a few months ago, former NBA player and now podcaster, show host, Gilbert Arenas was arrested for the exact same thing as Chauncey Billups. He came out even after this right here broke saying, hey, I snitched. I don't know if because Gilbert Arenas is a very sarcastic dude, so you never know when he's being serious versus when he's joking. But this is crazy. The fact that the mafia had a pre-existing control over non-rigged illegal poker games around New York City. U.S. Attorney from the Eastern District of New York, Joseph, said Thursday. As a result, they also became involved in rigged poker games, helping to organize the games and taking a cut of the proceedings and working to enforce the collections of debts. Now, how this becomes a bigger story for one reason only. If the mafia is involved, to me, it shows why, if you've noticed over the last couple of years, Vegas has been a bigger destination in sports. For years, the NFL did not have a team in Vegas, and I felt like we all knew the reason why. The history of Vegas and what it's attached to, sporting events didn't want to be attached to what that was, with the mafia and the gambling and the cheating and stuff. So the NFL now has a NFL team. The NBA is looking to get one. And we see the F1 and all these. Vegas is having a complete makeover in the last 5 years or so, where a whole bunch of money seems to have been pushed into Vegas. I wonder if that has anything to do with the mafia. Obviously, it's a rhetorical question. It obviously does. But if Billups, who seems like a stand-up dude, we've only heard about him being a stand-up dude, and I saw people already give this perspective, and I agree with it. Is it possible that Billups got into some debt and was pretty much told, you're going to show up to these card games so that we can bring these other victims in to scam them, to cheat them out of their money, or we're going to get our money from you another way? So was he being threatened? We know that there's allegedly already situations where apparently a few people associated with this case have already been beaten up or harmed by the mafia or some other groups. But I also want to say the fact that this case was announced right at the beginning of the NBA season, I wonder if this has anything to do with